Hi everyone, I welcome you to the backstories from the wild. Gharials are critically endangered crocodiles and less than 2000 of them exist in the wild. They predominantly feed on fish, and this scene is about how they feed on the fish at the water surface. I couldn't get the underwater part of the crocodiles feeding because it was a bit too dangerous for me to endanger myself and the animals as well, especially when they were marsh crocodiles sharing the same space. I was not given permission to do that, which is more sensible than to risk yourself and the animals while you try to get the footage out. I wanted to get the eye level perspective, or even at least as low as possible to the water surface, to get the crocodile feeding on the fish when it tosses about and gobbles it down. I had to be prepared at the exact spot where the animal would turn up each time after hunting and coming out to the surface to swallow it. I wanted the entire action to be in frame and in focus when it all played out. After a bit of an observation, I could understand what I really wanted. It was the feeding behavior, especially the swallowing part, that I really wanted the most. I positioned myself near the water bank and waited for the crocodiles to just turn up at the right spots. I went with multiple shot sizes of the same action and even multiple angles to build the entire sequence. Thankfully, the Gharials were repeating the same action a few times, so that gave me leverage in cutting out and making different shot sizes possible. I tracked how the animals would enter the frame because when the Gharial is going to come up to the water surface, there are a few bubbles that pop up, and immediately when you start rolling, the animal just comes out and it starts feeding on the fish. So you wouldn't be able to miss the scene entry, which is very important for that particular segment, especially when half of the action goes underwater that you're already missing. So my approach was very simple, but then I was happy to do it because not many people have filmed it the same way before. The footage turned out to be perfect because the Gharial was on a feeding spree, and I was really happy to observe the entire sequence. The Gharial was so majestic and graceful that the action turned out to be so subtle, although it was very different when I was observing them in the field. It was so amazing to observe it firsthand at such a close perimeter.